Functional training makes you stronger. We've talked about functional training so many times. Let's define functional training. Functional training, I mean, it's one of these things, you know it when you see it. It's like obscenity. You know it when you see it. If there's chrome dumbbells, if there are unstable surfaces like Bosu balls, Swiss balls, if there are exercises being done on the left side and not the right side, and then on the right side and not the left side, like one foot's up in the air and the other hand's up in the air, and you're dancing around, you know, in the floor in unstable circumstances and producing extremely low force movements. That's functional training. Once again, it's like obscenity. You know it when you see it. It's hard to define, though, right? And it's intentionally hard to define. It's functional. What does functional mean? Well, to me, functional means an exercise that is performed in a way that produces an adaptation that increases the function of the organism. All right? So, to me, a functional exercise is a squat or a deadlift or a press. That's functional because it improves the function of the organism. I'd have a hard time trying to explain to you why an ipsilateral movement with an 8-pound chrome dumbbell on an unstable surface would improve the function of the organism, unless the function of the organism is to produce a unilateral ipsilateral movement on a unstable surface. I know of no circumstances under which humans do that except in functional training studios. The horrible thing is that most Division I and professional strength and conditioning weight rooms have become functional training studios. It's a hell of a thing when the New England Patriots convert their weight room into a functional training studio, if you ask me. The idea that functional training makes you stronger is you have to understand what stronger means. Stronger means more force production against an external resistance. And if the force production you're performing against an external resistance is limited by your 10-pound dumbbell, you're not going to get stronger. If it's limited by the unstable circumstances under which you are attempting to produce that force, you're not going to get any stronger. When you squat 405 and don't fall down when you do it, then not only are you getting stronger when you go up to 410 next time, you're failing to fall down. Therefore, you're training balance at the same time. People don't understand that if the instability of the surface is the bottleneck, is the limiting factor in terms of the amount of force you can produce during the training movement, then force production can't be increased. All right? And when you do a squat, when you do 405 and squat all the way down, all the way up, and don't fall down, then you've mastered the balance component, but the balance component is inherent in the movement pattern. It's not the limiting factor in your ability to execute the movement pattern. The ability to produce force is, and therefore force production is the trainable variable in that circumstance. And unless force production is the trainable variable, that's not limited by instability or some other artificially imposed circumstance, then that thing can't make you stronger. Therefore, functional training is a waste of time. We've talked about this so many times. It just gets on my nerves, and I've read about it, and I've written about it, and let's talk about something else. All right.